Hello guys,
Prevagen
I'm
supplements these
Leon.
proteins
Today
and has been
we're
clinically
playing
shown to improve memory,
like
be safe and
Freddy.
effective for support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking. Try Prevagen for yourself today.
So here it is.
Your daughter has a brilliant idea for her science project, and you could make it happen. Wrong, because you're not you. You're a cancer husband, and your daughter, she's a team of
I
leading
did a little
researchers.
tinkering.
And that brilliant idea is a breakthrough patient treatment that can save thousands of lives, which means you need a diverse team of advisors helping you. From research data analytics all the way to transformation of clinical care. So you call PwC, the right people to get the extraordinary done.
When you have something small and detailed to do, you squint, hold it close, and still can't see. And with a magnifying glass, you're not hands-free. What you need is big vision. The magnifying eyewear that makes everything 200% bigger and clearer. Look, you could hold a magnifying glass with one hand and try to work with the other. Oh, brother. But big vision brings the power of a magnifying glass to the place you really need it, your eyes. So you can work with both hands. Big visions are not reading glasses.
Oh, God, the duck's already here.
Now
Duck,
work
chicken,
on
thing,
crafts,
whatever.
up close, inspect stamps and coins like a pro. Even the smallest print is 200% bigger with Big Vision. Big Vision is truly a lifesaver for removing a splinter or clipping your child's fingernails. Let Big Vision help you repair intricate jewelry, solder a circuit board, or discover the secrets of an old photo. Big Vision can be comfortably worn over prescription glasses or contacts. You see all the details without painful straining and squinting, and there's no prescription needed.
It's very clear. It's amazing.
They do not make us computers. It's like high definition.
Oh, where's Ducky? Where's Ducky Schlucky?
That is amazing. I mean, that was fast.
It's perfect for magnifying small print on medication, enlarging features and text on your smartphone, or remote control. Similar eyewear sells for as much as $150. But you can order now to get Big Vision with cleaning and storage case for just $19.99. But hang on, to shine some light on your favorite project, we'll include this clip-on LED light free. And to make this offer really clear, we're going to double the offer free. Just pay processing and handling. Get 2 pairs of Big Visions with carry cases and 2 clip-on lights, all for just $19.99. Call or go online now. To order, call
That's Ducky.
1-800-680-7624 or log out to 5bigvision.com. That's 1-800-680-7624 or log out to 5bigvision.com. Don't delay, order now.
Can you tell us what these things names are? Because I literally have no idea
Some of
what
our
the
top
names
stories
are.
now. Security being stepped up at the Mall of America in Minnesota following calls from the terror group Al-Shabaab to launch attacks on malls in the U.S. and Europe. The White House says it is willing to negotiate with Congress on the request for war powers against ISIS. That includes the proposed 3-year time limit, but the president is still reportedly opposed to geographic limits on the authorization. And Ukrainian officials say continued attacks from Russian-backed rebels are delaying the pullback of Ukrainian artillery and killing the proposed ceasefire. Officials say they won't withdraw the equipment until the attacks stop.
Republican Governor out of Texas, Scott Walker, taking a bit of heat for his response when asked by the Washington Post about whether or not he thinks President Obama is a Christian. Quote, I don't know. I've never been asked. I've never asked him that. You've asked me to make statements about people I haven't had a conversation with about that. How could I say if I know either of you are a Christian? End quote. What about that? Janine Morelli is president of Conservative Review and a Fox News contributor, and Boswell Smichael Jr. is president and founder of Boswell Smichael Associates and contributor for TheDill.com. Good morning to both of you as we sit here on a late Monday in February. The suggestion is that Democrats are not asked this same question. Are they or not?
This is the perfect example of the double standard with the media bill. And, instead of them asking the potential Republican candidates about what they're going to do should they get in office to turn our country around, instead they're playing the gotcha game. There are some important issues that they should be asking these individuals. ISIS is a huge concern among Americans. They're ignoring what Americans are most concerned about. ISIS is one of them. The others are the failures of Obamacare. What are you going to do if you're in office to fix the failures of Obamacare?
So you would rather see questions on policy?
Absolutely.
Double standard or not?
No, and context is really important here. Rudy Giuliani made the comment that he made at an event for Governor Walker, and I think the governor just needs better people. The fact of the matter is, he could have just answered questions and said, the president said he's a Christian, I believe he's a Christian. He says that he's a United States Senator and President of the United States, I believe he loves his country, but I disagree with his policies. And just leave it at that. Every time in any party, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, if you have surrogates out there speaking for you, you are accountable for what your surrogates say.
Could he have prepared for me? Could he have just said he's a Christian? That's what he said, and I
He
take
didn't
that
find that of a concern. And you'd have to ask President Obama if he's a Christian. I'm sure he's not the only person who has that question. But the bottom line is, it's more important for and the media did not vet President Obama like it should have. So we're going back in time for something that we have no control over. They should be more focused. He voted president more than anything. People should be more focused.
Steve Hayes was asked about this yesterday on Fox. This is how he addressed the Walker issue. Watch.
You know what? He punched back in the interview. I think if you look at the entire part of the interview that the Washington Post published, the actual news there was Scott Walker taking on that line of questioning. I'm not going to concern myself with this trivial stuff that you're talking about. Said, I don't know. It was the same response that he gave when he talked about Rudy Giuliani.
About to bring up.
Seriously, do you have a double standard?
He's making the point you were about this double standard. Others would
40%.
suggest that if Joe Biden were to take this step, it's also.
I'm thinking it's now.
Democrats are not asked about that.
They are.
They're not asked to clarify
They are.
the vice president.
No, they are, and it goes back to the point. If you have surrogates out there speaking on your behalf,
man, the bear. Oh God, the bear. Oh no, the bear, the bear, the
In one
bear.
case where a Democrat was asked to respond to Joe Biden.
I don't know on Joe Biden specifically, but there are Democrats that are being asked to respond to things that they're saying all the time. As a pundit, how many times am I asked? Even as a pundit, how many times am I asked to repudiate Al Sharpton or Louis Starr? It happens all the time, and unfortunately, that is what happens. It happens with
On American issues.
Go ahead, Denise.
They should be asking if Obama wants to fundamentally transform our country.
Bunny.
His energy policy is one of those ways that he is trying to do that. He should be empowering individuals to have more disposable income, to be employed in jobs. When you're harming the energy industry, you're putting Americans' lives and future, I think, in jeopardy.
Why do you think that doesn't happen?
Because he doesn't see America, he wants America.
No, the whole line, the line of questioning that you're suggesting he does not get.
Again, it's a double standard. And again, the media is not doing its due diligence for Americans. If they're in the hole with the White House, they're covering for Obama's failed policies, and this is the conversation that they are trying to distract Americans from.
He is getting those questions, but I think if we go back a little bit, the context of these questions to Governor Walker is extraordinarily important. You are responsible for what your surrogates say, and his clumsily trying to wiggle out of what Giuliani has said and has put him in the position to have to respond to, I think is what's problematic here. In theory, yes, he shouldn't be having to answer these questions about whether the president is a Christian or not. Stick to the policy. That is extreme. No, I agree with that. No, I don't think it's a double standard, because I think Democrats are held to the same standard, but it's a wrong standard. The point is that if you have a question about what the president believes, deal with that on a policy level, deal with that. And if you have issues with having to respond to Rudy Giuliani, isolate him too, because then it's distracting you from staying on message.
Janine, I'll give you the last word. Policies. It's a grand distraction from Obama's failures of his policy for our country. And what the media is doing is really covering for that, bringing up these other topics such as this one, so that this is what we're talking about. And again, we're not talking about ISIS. We're not talking about his failed energy policy.
Oh, yeah, you're not talking about Governor Walker's reform in Wisconsin or his reform.
All right, guys. Bye, next Freddy's.
A
game.
Thanks to you as well. Appreciate you coming in today.
All right, guys.
36 minutes after the hour. Is that it?
And
Well, Bill,
I'm
the
going to
Illinois
end
team is alive after narrowly escaping a fiery crash thanks to some good Samaritans. The crash happened Saturday in Chicago on the city's historic Lakeshore Drive. The dramatic rescue unfolded after the team lost control of his SUV and hit a tree head-on.